to Epcot. Today is opening day, so we wanted to share our flight with you. We just boarded a Skyliner at a resort, Pop Century, and Pop Century shares a station with Art of Animation. I think we're in a Star Wars Skyliner, so the window is a little distorted because of the imaging on the windows, but otherwise you can see. Our first flight in 5 months.
So April and I are on the Skyliner, headed to Epcot. She's videoing on GoPro.
There!
And I'm doing live.
We're tag teaming.
You may hear both of us talking.
One of the concerns I had about the Skyliner is I love it, but I said I want to see how it is in January and August, and right now it's 10:30 or so in the morning, and there is a breeze coming through the Skyliner, so it's not ungodly hot. It's not air conditioned, but I think it's bearable.
It's worse with the, April's talking about the mask, the ventilation here. It's not too bad, but it is definitely worse with the mask on.
Oh, everything's worse with the masks on. But you have to wear a mask. You have no choices if you want to go to any of the theme parks. You must have a face covering if you're 2 years of age or older. So right now we are flying to Caribbean Beach, and that's basically the central hub to be able to change to either go to Hollywood Studios or go over to Epcot.
You're right from where we're at. We don't have to change, right?
No, we do.
Oh,
We
okay.
do. We change trains. Change
We're
cars.
gonna get out of this thingy and get into a new one.
Yes.
Okay. Caribbean Beach.
This line only goes to Pop and Art of Animation. So basically the station is kind of like a T. So we're coming in across the top of the T. We'll change to another cab here, which will then stop
We're
at
gonna finish
Riviera
up,
and
We're
Epcot.
getting off. So we'll be back from nowhere in a moment. So how do you get on the way to Hollywood Studios? Can't get back to Epcot.
Alright, we're getting on the next cab. That really took us all of maybe 2 minutes to switch cabs. And so now we will be flying to, first stop is Riviera Resort, and then Epcot. You can see our reflections in the window and see that you do have to have a face covering, but we've chosen to wear the neck gaiter under the mask.
Okay, not
And
bad.
that actually makes a
You're on the
difference.
new one. You're not on one that has a design on it, so you can actually see a little better on the windows.
Going slow, it is warm in here, but we're shaded. And now that we're moving, the breeze kicks in.
So that's Caribbean Beach right there, or Caribbean Beach. They all have different ways of saying it.
I think I say Caribbean, and you say
Yeah.
Caribbean.
I think the people from the Caribbean call it
Welcome
Caribbean.
aboard, Islanders. You are on the Disney Skyliner
And there
at
you can
Disney's
see
Caribbean Beach
Spaceship
Resort.
Earth at
We're
Epcot.
flying to Disney's Riviera Resort with continuing flights to Epcot.
And then the giant
Hold
blue
on to
building
your
in the
straw
background
hats. We are
is the
about to
Guardians
enter
of the
the heart
Galaxy.
of the Caribbean.
That is the new coaster that they're building.
It's like little Disney Springs. Looks like there's a fire.
See, and you can see
We
the
are now
station
sailing
behind
over
us.
Disney's Caribbean
Over
Beach
there.
Resort, home to a collection of tropical villages
know what
inspired
that
by
is
the
over
colorful
there.
architecture and lifestyle of the Caribbean islands.
Oh, we're gonna stop. Hopefully this slows down. But there's Riviera in front of us. It is such a gorgeous resort. I love that resort.
Me too.
There's the lighthouse at Caribbean Beach.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disney's Riviera Resort. If this is your final destination, please prepare to disembark. If you are traveling to Epcot today, please remain seated.
I feel like they should put a fan in the top of this so that if it does stop, that automatically kicks on.
Yeah, I think a fan would be a good idea.
Because it definitely has power to it.
Right.
We are going to Epcot, Jessica. Today is the opening day of
Please
Epcot.
remain seated until the doors automatically open.
And
When
that's,
exiting the cabin, please supervise children, collect your belongings, and watch your step. Thank you for flying with us.
You see, the takeoff and landing is a little rough, but you do get used to it.
Epcot is April's favorite resort, so there's no way we were going to Hollywood Studios today.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
We did, on the first day the park's open, we did Magic Kingdom, which is my favorite resort. And so today we're doing her favorite resort. But we ended up already doing Hollywood Studios because we were able to get in with a friend who's a cast member on the cast member preview as a guest. So that was kind of neat.
But when we stayed at Riviera, it was 10 minutes to go from Riviera to Epcot.
Yeah.
You just can't beat it. Versus taking a bus, which could be an hour, or even driving, going through the hassle of driving over and parking. All right, we're getting ready for takeoff again.
It's always taken slower than we have in the past.
That was a little slower, I think.
I know when I first took it, when they came into the station, they came in like really fast. It freaked me out a little bit.
Yes.
But, hi Lori. But now that we're...
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner
You
at
can see the
Disney
Tower of Terror
Riviera
in the
Resort.
background.
If you're just joining us, we are on our way to Epcot.
So when this, so far we've come into 2 stations, and
Ladies
neither one of
and
them came in real
gentlemen,
fast. So
we
I don't
invite
think
you
changed
to
it.
sit back, relax, and enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
We're over the highway right now, so if we drop, we're gonna fall on a tractor trailer.
But we're not going to drop, so it's going to be fine. So you can see where we came from. There's the
We are now
Riviera
traveling along
and the
Buena
line
Vista
coming
Drive.
in from Caribbean
This
Beach.
roadway and the city of Lake Buena
we're
Vista
slowing down again.
were established in 1969 when Walt Disney World
And
Resort
we're
was
stopped.
first being developed. They are both
And we're
named after
inching.
Buena Vista Street in Burbank, California, where the Walt Disney Company headquarters are still located today.
It gets really warm.
It is warm when you're not really moving. Especially wearing the mask. My face, unfortunately, is pretty sweaty. Sorry for TMI. But that's reality. It is Florida in
Yeah.
July.
Jessica, I'm not afraid. I really don't think it's gonna drop.
No, it's not. I'm the paranoid one, so... You can see more of the countries. There's Spaceship Earth and Italy. And now we're coming behind the American Pavilion. Into Japan. Japan's not as tall, so it's not as prominent. And there we can see Japan. And you see the top of the Land Pavilion and the Imagination Pavilion in the background. A little bit of Canada. And it
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we will be taking a scenic spin around the Skyliner turn station. Please remain seated. This station was designed for turning only.
So we're gonna whip around the corner. I would love to know more details on how these things work.
now we're making the turn and going nice and slow again.
That may have been why we were slowing down earlier.
Probably. Oh, Christoph is smiling.
Right, here we go.
And now we're picking up speed again. Thank goodness for the breeze.
From elegant dining and magical lounges to lively entertainment just off the shores of Crescent Lake, this charming seaside resort relives the golden era of Atlantic beach towns and turn-of-the-century amusement parks.
It's airflow, Mike. So if you see up there, those 2 windows there, and I'm going to turn backwards. There's 3 over here in the back.
And there's one on the side too.
And there's one up there. So as you go through, the air comes through. It's a pretty good design. It's tough when you slow down because of that.
And they do have an emergency kit, which is under the bench in front of us.
It does not feel hot right now, Mike. I mean, right now we're almost stopped, so that gets warm. But when you're moving, it does not feel hot at all. And I don't like the heat, so.
Oh, there's Haunted Mansion again.
There's the emergency kit April was just talking about right there. And it has like a bottle of water in there, and
I believe a power bar. It has a defecation bag. So if that situation arises, then I'm not sure what else it has in it.
as I call it.
Now might be a good time to practice your holas, ni haos, and konnichiwas. When you arrive at each nation's pavilion, cultural hosts will be waiting to greet you in their native language, helping make your visit to Epcot a truly international exchange.
And now we're coming up on the
back.
back side of Ratatouille. They took down the sign. When we were here in February, there was a sign up that said opening summer 2020. Obviously, things have been a little delayed, so the sign is gone. But they have made a lot of progress. That's the queue area that goes underneath the
Ladies and
green
gentlemen,
roof.
we are now arriving at Epcot. This concludes your journey aboard the Disney Skyliner. All passengers must disembark at this
Still have
station.
work to do, but they've made a lot of
Return
progress.
service is available. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed the most magical flight on Earth.
Can't wait to try it. I will try it, even though I get motion sick.
Okay,
I
so
will
I'm going to
take
finish up
lots of
because we're going into the
pills.
station. So we'll talk to you guys later.
Here we are. We're coming in for a landing. They have the temperature check tent set up and gates, and it looks like people are going in.
Watch your step. Thank you for
Fabulous.
flying with us. Por favor,
There we go for our landing. Hold on.
hasta
Air
que las
brakes.
puertas se abran automáticamente. Al salir de la cabina, por favor, cuide a sus pequeñitos. Reúna.
Wishful thinking to take the mask off. All right, we are now walking into Epcot. Yay! It's my favorite park. So we have to stop and get our temperature check. Then you go through security, scan our band, and we're in. And now this actually begins what they're calling a Taste of Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. So it's kind of the joining of the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, good morning, with the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. So, and you can see operating hours and where the Skyliner goes. And temperature screening and signs, and I'm going to turn you off while I go through temperature. Take your temperature to enter every park, so that's important to make sure that you are healthy and okay to go in. You do have to have a temperature less than 100.4 in order to enter. And if you do have a temperature that's higher, they'll actually have you sit in a cooling area for a short while to see if your temperature will come down, and they'll recheck you. And if it comes down, then you can enter the park. If it does not, then you will ask to be returned another day. But we have passed and we're going into the park. All right, we are in Epcot. We came in through the International Gateway. They had cast members lined up greeting everyone, saying welcome back, welcome home. And Lynn and I were both crying over that. So this is the brand new version of the Taste of Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. So because Flower and Garden basically only got to live for 11 days before everything shut down for COVID, they're having Flower and Garden elements, and as well as starting Food and Wine early, which last year it started mid-August, I want to say. And so they're kicking it off with having different booths around and different elements of each. So we're walking through the United Kingdom right now. And this is the shortest trip around the world. Good morning, welcome back. Oh. So we're gonna make our way up to Future World, which is the front of the park. The World Showcase is the back of the park. And you can see the countries are all formed around the lake. There are 13 countries that you get to visit. Or 11 countries, excuse me. 11 countries. You can see the hot air balloon from Disney Springs over Norway across the lake. Technically, the park does not open until 11, so we are in the park a little bit early, but that's okay. I'm glad they let us come in versus making us stand outside on the sidewalk. They have specialized menus at each of the food booths, and I believe there are 20 booths for the festival. And then special merchandise. And one of my favorite characters is Orange Bird. And Orange Bird was a mascot of, good morning, Flower and Garden. And there's tons of Orange Bird stuff, which is very dangerous. So
April's gonna be in trouble because they have a 30% off pass holder discount.
yeah, they increased the pass holder discount yesterday. Of course, I'd already done some shopping, but oh well, just have to shop a little bit more. I'm glad at least they did it before I came to Epcot.
Well, before we went home.
Yeah, true story. We got a chance to benefit from it. It wouldn't have been very fun if they had done it after we'd gotten home. We're still here for another few days. There's the Canada special booth, refreshment port. Citrus Blossom is coming up. I'll show you the menu for Citrus Blossom since it's right here, so you get an idea of what some of the special offerings are. And one thing that they did bring back from last year that they're doing this year again is the Orange Bird Sipper Cup. So you can see the message, the menu. Lobster tail, I think that was one of Whitney's favorites at this booth. And the orange cream shake was very good.
I would probably like.
You would like it. Tastes like a creamsicle. Oh, and they have the Spike, the beef spork. So I am a nerd that I collect all of the popcorn buckets and sipper cups. And really it seems like anything kind of food utensil related. So I've got bowls and ice cream bowls and platters and all kinds of things. And so for the festival for Flower and Garden, they had the Orange Bird Cup as well as Spike the Bee, who is a mascot of Flower and Garden. And they also have a spork of Spike the Bee. So, yes, I do have to get a spork and I need a spike cup. Here we're coming up to Simmering Sips, and you can see some of the menu here. Once they get up and going, Lynn and I will try some things. What? Oh no.
Simmering strawberry soft serve.
May have to try it.
I might be eating ice cream for meals today.
Well, you know, this is research. So it's important to try things.
Oh, waistline.
There are no calories in Disney.
Yes, there are.
I keep telling you this. Calories do not exist in Disney. So here's a festival marketplace. Well, let's take a peek. Oh, this has all the mini stuff. So there's mini themed and there's Orange Bird. And the more dangerous thing is we drove here from New England. So that means we have room in the car. The picture's really cute. So you can see the picture, watering can, $16.99. That's not bad.
Not usually a green person, but
That's a pretty color.
tank top.
That's a really pretty color. I like actually the windbreaker, the pastels. And lots of gardening things. So these are all from Flower and Garden Festival. I believe they still will have some of the topiaries and displays from Flower and Garden. Oh, let's get out of the way. We weren't able to come to Flower and Garden because unfortunately it closed before we could get here. It opened March 4th and the last day the parks were open was March 15th. So only 11 days and then it closed. So we're heading up to Future World. We're gonna go to the store. Big surprise. So you can see that there's still construction because Future World is transforming and becoming something different.
I don't think it might be.
You don't have the gardens like you normally would. Normally around the lake you would see lots of flower beds. Right now it's just grass. So we're coming into Future World and we're going to head over to the Living with the Land Pavilion. And that pavilion has a lot going on. We're going to ride Soarin', we're going to ride Living with the Land, and we're going to get lunch at Sunshine Season. So let's go jump on Soarin' and have fun.
Ready for takeoff.
Mine doesn't have cup holders on it.
Oh, mine does.
Oh yeah.
Yep, they're just pushed in. up is Living with the Land. So excited. We're going to go jump on because there's not much of a wait. Alright, now we're going on one of my favorite memories, which is riding the Living with the Land with my grandfather back in 1995.
Welcome to our voyage of
This
discovery
is
and
my
awareness of the
Epcot
richness
must-do.
and diversity in the often surprising
Every time I
nature
come.
of living with the land. One day become home to the American farm.
Another little bit of trivia. It hasn't moved in a while. The mailbox here for B. Jones, number 82. That is a tribute to Epcot, which started in 1982. And up top is the Garden Grill restaurant. It used to be a rotating restaurant.
Of all the forces at work on the
I don't
land,
think it really spins
humans
much
have had
anymore.
one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Today, we're learning to live with the land, discovering better ways to grow food that will assure both human and environmental well-being.
In the farmlands across America, that by applying under vegetation and taking natural fertilizers, we can enrich the soil without the use of chemicals. In arid regions, we're learning to produce food on desert seacoasts by developing and planting crops that thrive on salt water. In Japan, we're learning that by mixing leaves and other living materials into our soil, we can make farmland more fertile without the need for chemicals.
The greenhouse is living with the land.
And here's the part that my grandfather loved because he was an avid gardener and he was fascinated by all these futuristic methods to
Welcome to
grow
our
more
living
vegetables and
laboratory,
fruits.
where scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce bountiful harvests now and into the future,
We have a book at home.
to growing in less than ideal conditions. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. More than 28 million tons of bananas are eaten annually, making it the most popular fruit in the world.
And guests are seated on the boat with a row between travel parties, so there's still a conscious effort to keep people social distanced and safe while still being able to experience the ride.
When we mention farming, you probably don't think of fish. But fish farming, or aquaculture, accounts for nearly half of all the seafood consumed globally. Tilapia, bass, and catfish, like the ones you see here, are three of the more popular crops raised by fish farmers. The sustainable system we're using here recycles the water in the tanks. As a result, we're able to save millions of gallons each year. While there are more than 50,000 edible plant species in the world, most of us are only familiar with the handful that make up our everyday diet. The common grains growing here, wheat, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly 2/3 of our global food consumption. Learning how to increase yields of these staples is an important goal of research around the world.
Oh, here's the fun thing coming up, the Cinderella pumpkins. They actually will put the pumpkins in a mold.
Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature.
And
like
they'll also
these
put them in
fruit and
molds of a
vegetable
Mickey
trees.
head.
By growing these ground plants vertically, we can increase yields and better control diseases. These crops taste as good as they look. In fact, we serve more than 15 tons of produce from our greenhouses in restaurants here at the land every year. Ideas like this vertical growing system. Plants grown in this way use a fraction of the space required by traditional growing methods. That saves water and increases production. The aquaponics system on your left combines hydroponics with aquaculture. The fish provide a natural source of fertilizer for the plants, and the plants help keep the water clean for the fish. It's another great way to produce more while using less. In our lab, Epcot scientists are working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on a number of innovative projects. The goal of these efforts is to produce higher yielding and better quality plants.
That looks like mint right there.
Together, we can continue to find more ways to increase food production and protect our precious natural environment. Only then will we truly be living with the land. On behalf of Walt Disney World, we hope you've enjoyed this unique journey through our living laboratories. If you'd like a closer look, then check out the Behind the Seeds walking tour. It's a chance for the whole family to get up close and personal with the plants and growing techniques in our laboratories.
Well, we just had lunch at Sunshine Seasons, which is a little food court in the Land Pavilion. It was so good, always good. It does have a reduced menu, but still yummy. And now we're going to jump on Journey to Imagination, which has one of my favorite characters in it, Figment the Dragon. So definitely ride it and check it out.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to our special drive-through open house. I'm Dr. Nigel Channing, Chairman of the Imagination Institute. Hello. On your tour, you'll see how the 5 human senses can help capture your imagination.
Oh, can I go too?
Absolutely not. This is one of our discoveries, the figment of imagination.
Yeah, I know all about the senses. There's sight, sound, smell, touch, coochie-coochie-coo, and taste. Tastes like chicken. Can I go? Please, please, please.
No, I don't want you out of my sight.
Out of sight? Okay. Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Figment, you are not to interfere with the tour. Our first stop is the Sound Lab. We'll begin by testing your hearing with a series of tones. Left ear, right ear. Left, right. What? This is odd. Hello?
Hello.
Who is this?
It's Figment.
Figment? I thought I told you not to interfere.
But you've got it wrong, Doc. It's not about listening with your ears. It's about listening with your imagination.
Now I've completely lost my train of thought.
No, you haven't. It's over here. All aboard. Woo-hoo! Next stop, imagination. For every sound your ears are hearing, 1,000 thoughts can start appearing, and each of us imagines different things. From just a sound, your mind has wings.
Continuing now, if I may, in a calm, scientific, figment-free manner, the things we see with our eyes can control the eyes of the imagination. Let's begin by using the eye chart to test your vision. Now, drive-through and kitchen.
With FIGMGMT, you can see things differently. Sure, you can see with your eyes, but imagine what you could see if you used your imagination. Follow the bouncing figment. One spark of light can light your fancy. Your mind sees more than what your eyes see. Your sense of sight can make your fancy fly. There's more to sight than meets you high.
I say imagination must be captured and controlled.
Imagination works best when it's set free. Just turn your imagination loose and anything can happen.
Figment. Oh, he's gone. Our research shows that smells often trigger the imagination, especially when pleasant, familiar smells come into play.
Come into play? I'd love to.
Figment, this is not a good time.
It's always a good time to use your imagination, so let the good times roll. Woohoo! You win 1 cent.
Figment, don't! Oh, that really stinks.
Of course, Doc. The nose knows. One awful whiff can send you reeling. One lovely sniff can be appealing. Your mind defines what enters through your nose. That's how you tell a skunk is not a rose.
You know, I'm sorry, but after that big stink in the smell lab, I hesitate to send you into the touch and taste labs. Perhaps I should end my open house right here.
Great idea. We'll go to my open house instead. It's much more fun. Right this way, everybody.
Figment, what is going on? You're turning this entire open house upside down.
Upside down? Now you're talking. That's the best idea you've had all day. With just a spark of inspiration, I made my house an innovation. Imagination really comes around. It comes right up and upside down. Now here's a real open house. Come on in. So what do you think? Is it me? Doc, it's exactly what I imagined. Imagination is the brain's open house.
Oh, of course. Imagination is just turning your thinking upside down. Come on, Figment. It's time to get back to the Institute.
I know a shortcut.
Well, if you can't beat them, join her. We all have sparks.
Imagination. That's how our minds create creations.
We set them free, and oh, what they can do.
All magic sparks from me and you. You see, Doc, I knew you'd get it, 'cause you got a wonderful imagination.
I do? Oh, yes. Well, thank you, Figment. And so, as you can plainly see, imagination works the best when it's set free.
You said it, Doc. Imagination is a blast. Imagination, you
Of inspiration can right at the start of everything that's new. Come on, Figment, let me have a go.
Anything is possible when you use your imagination.
Probably. This will normally be an activity area, but the activities are not welcome at this time, unfortunately.
This is so sad.
It's very empty. That's an area where kids can stomp on the floor and play instruments. They do character meet and greets here. This is where you would meet Vanellope and Wreck-It Ralph. And right now, there is just nothing. And there is where I think you would meet joy and sadness. Or they might be also on this side too. So eventually they'll all be in the play pavilion once that's finished, which is the old Wonders of Life building. But now there's just no activity, no pictures, no anything. So there's definitely, oh, maybe you could do a picture. Tough with the changes, but it's still nice to be here in spite of it all. Here is the newest thing. There's the Sleepy Figment.
It's free.
Is it? That's nice. No, not really free. It just doesn't have a price sticker. Baby Figments, Epcot Forever. Pixar. Oh, here's more of the Sleepies. Oh, $30. That's actually pretty reasonable. Dream Friends.
When you buy two.
Oh, 30 when you buy two?
Otherwise they're 35.
Alright, that's not terrible. For Disney prices, it's not terrible. And boy, they have a million of them. And Mouse Gear, people were buying them up. Oh, and little Figment clips. Cute. Alright, we're gonna sign off for now and move on to the next thing. Thanks for joining us. I think that's our day for today. Check back for more Epcot videos.